It's in the London Guardian. Want J.P. Morgan to crash, buy silver. The campaign to buy silver and force J.P. Morgan into bankruptcy could work because of the liabilities accrued by the short selling. And Keiser talks about what we did a month ago and then again 2 weeks ago here on the show, sending silver to $500 an ounce, that becoming the #1 search term, crash J.P. Morgan being in the top search terms. And now silver is reaching its all-time high today, and the availability of silver eagles at an all-time low, and the price of those hitting an all-time high in November, the availability drying up everywhere. Max Keiser, this is very exciting. What's happening?
Yeah, it sure is. Silver, since I was on your show 3 weeks ago, it's up 9%. So do you understand that? That means it's annualizing at a rate of return greater than 100%. And the people around the world realize that if everybody cooperates and does this, that everybody wins. Everybody will win. If everyone gets together and joins forces, buying silver, you're going to be destroying the biggest financial terrorist in the world. Imagine getting rid of the biggest financial terrorist in the world. I mean, and by the way,
we're not tooting our horns here, and who knows if they'll send a hit team after you for really pushing this out there. But we created the TSA stir. The media is even admitting that now. This is really other people's brainchild, but you saw the idea and rammed it out here, supercharging it, along with Zero Hedge and others. And now the Guardian and others are recognizing it. I don't want to say who called you because I want to wait till it comes out. But some of the biggest publications in the U.S. have contacted you about this and what we're doing. So it just shows the power of alternative media. And we're not tooting our horn. You're not tooting your horn when we point out that the power of the people out there. There are now thousands of videos talking about crash J.P. Morgan, buy silver. This thing is kind of scary. I mean, it's scary to have this type of power, Max.
Well, it was always there. The power was always there, but it didn't have a single point to focus on. When I've been on your show before, I've talked about the 1-inch punch, or I've talked about how to focus all the energy. You've been saying, well, we should try to do multiple things at once, and I've always said, no, just try and do one thing and do it on scale, get the whole world to focus on one thing, and the economies of scale kick in, and you have success. And this thing is success. Within 3 weeks, we're having success. Think about the various campaigns out there that have been going on for years that are still struggling to get acceptance. Here, within 3 weeks, we're totally transforming the global economy. We're taking silver to new all-time highs. We're totally disrupting all of the bank's balance sheets. And we are now going to take back hundreds of billions of dollars that they stole by converting all the paper currency into silver. If you own any of the slave currencies, the dollar, the pound, the euro, the yen, if you own the slave coupons, the slave tickets, the slave currencies, you need to release yourself from bondage and cash it in for silver and be a free person. Be a free man. Own real money.
Well said, Max. Now, most of our listeners understand this more than even you or I, but we got a few minutes before break. In layman's terms, explain why they can normally fix markets, and they've been manipulating this one, but if the mass goes out and buys silver, there's no way Humpty Dumpty can put himself back together again. Sure.
The precious metals have always been the counterbalance to fiat money and paper money. And for the past 20 years, has been documented by groups like the Gold Antitrust Action Committee and the folks over at Zero Hedge, the main banks that are tied to the government, like J.P. Morgan, they go into the market and they continuously sell silver contracts naked, which means that they are selling contracts that do not exist. They're counterfeiting securities in order to create a lot of selling, in order to create a lot of downward pressure, in order to create an artificially low price. And they're able to do this because anytime they need to make good on a contract, the U.S. government just gives them an unlimited checkbook to keep writing bad checks. Now, what's happened is that over the past couple of years, the big money out there, like Eric Sprott up there in Sprott Asset Management in Canada, realized that, hey, J.P. Morgan has $3.3 billion in these bad bets on their books. If we take physical delivery, it'll force them to go into the market to buy silver, and they go bankrupt, and we get rid of a major financial terrorist. Now, the only pushback to this is people say, well, they can always settle for cash, and they won't have that liability. But that's false, because if they settle for cash, where do they get that cash? They have to get it from the government to issue more debt, which only means that the purchasing power of everyone's fiat currency goes down. and the silver that they're holding, the purchasing power goes up. We've got them in a corner. If we all cooperate and buy silver, that $500 price is an achievable goal. Imagine everyone around the world who can put in 27, 28,
and then they won't be able to manipulate it anymore.
$500.
We got a break. We got a break, Max. Stay there.